Thunder! 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 ThunderCats!
Well, Radical Ones, it's another ThunderCats recap / review here on the Radical Retro Rewind podcast. As always, it is Ryan Hunter along with my brother in arms, David. Meow. Snarf.
Every kiss begins with K. Just remember that for Cheetara.
I want to thank the ThunderCats Wikipedia for the summary that we will be using. David, let's just get into it because holy crap. This is All That Glitters, Season 1, Episode 17. October 1st, 1985. Here we go. We're getting close to your birthday, David.
I don't count those anymore. Not until
like
I get
the rings
to
of a tree on a treetop kingdom.
Not until I get to the geyser of youth.
We going for the geyser, believe me. Deep in the basement of Cat's lair, Panthro and Tigra are busy extracting Thundrillium.
They're actually refining. Are they refining the stuff from Hook Mountain? Or are they? No,
yes,
meteorite.
Actually,
yeah, the meteorite that.
It actually says that their source happens to be the meteor that crashed on Hook Mountain. Continuity. I love it. And after facing significant struggles brought home by Lionel, the smelting of the meteor helps to remove all the impurities that have gotten mixed into it when it crash landed. The most abundant one being gold. Ugh. How dare it get...
He's like, look at this stuff. It's soft.
See, Tigra? This gold stuff is soft. Pulls apart too easily. Has a low melting point. Won't react with other metals or chemicals. It's just junk. Come on. Time to pour that pure Thundrillium.
Due to gold being extremely brittle and having a low melting point, Panthro considers it to be junk and happily disposes of it in the bottomless chamber. Cheetara, on the other hand, falls in love with its glittering appearance, even forging a simple necklace out of a nugget of gold.
Junk? Why, it's beautiful. And see how it glitters. I love it. All of it.
She's like, I love it. I love it. I'll take it all. Look how it glitters.
Lynn Lipton, thank you for delivering these lines. She sold Cheetara's love.
She's like, don't get rid of it. I love it. I love it all. I want it all.
No, I hate that it's going to be a little cliche that I guess they chose Cheetara to be the one that's kind of like, ooh, over this. But
Tigra has a drug problem. Leave Tigra alone. Can you give him? You have to give him that too. Oh no!
No, I mean Cheetara is the one that seems to be oogling this, right? They kind of like make it the female character that's kind of with gold.
But then again, she's very golden. Her hair, or whatever you want to say.
Why not? And she literally picks it up there, right? She forges. It's like soap, like Play-Doh. She forges herself like a necklace and it fastens to her neck. It just gets hard all of a sudden. In the meantime, Lionel and Snarf are scouting. It takes them to the caves of the trolls and the giants. Just another location here on Third Earth.
And you can tell which is which because there's huge openings for the giants and small openings for the trolls.
Snarf figured that one out, right? After witnessing a giant from close range, the duo are startled by the sudden appearance of a troll atop a giant grasshopper. Lionel immediately takes a liking to the short-statured fella and calls himself Gregory Gregorin. And Lionel says, I like you, Gregory Gregorin.
What brings you and your little friend to our land?
Little? I'm twice your size, short legs.
True. But I've always felt that one's legs were long enough if they reach the ground.
I like you, Gregory Gregian. I am Lionel, Lord of the ThunderCats, and this is my loyal companion, Snarf.
I'm John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
That's what I thought. His name is my name, too. So it's this little bearded little fellow, and he is on a giant grasshopper.
He kind of reminds me a little bit of, just a tiny bit, of the thing from the Never-Ending Story that rides on a snail. Just a little bit. Like that whole, like, riding
I could see that.
Not that he looks like him, but just that he rides like a little, I don't know.
His name is my name, too. Lionel likes his sense of humor. However, the conversation starts to turn grim when the troll reveals that he is compelled to ride through the midnight woods with valuable goods, where he fears he might be attacked by the Shadow Robber. Sworn to protect all good beings on Third Earth, Lionel and Snarf accompany the troll on his perilous journey. Perilous journey.
Prevalous. I don't even know what that is. So the one thing I want to point out about this is that Lionel was all too eager. I think he was a little bored. Not that they're not
Oh, you
about
think that's
helping
what it
people,
is?
but I think he was all too eager just to like he assumed that this person was on the up and up. You know, that little troll could have been stealing gold from the giants. He doesn't know that. He's like all too ready. He likes a bleeding heart story, you know.
Yes, that's all it takes, which I guess in one way, though, is it great for his character. So Snarf soon learns how Midnight Woods got its name when he and Lionel and the troll enter the pitch black forest. With near zero visibility, the party of three cautiously treads along when a shadow figure attacks Lionel. The ThunderCat fights back, drawing the Sword of Omens, but with one strike from his assailant's whip, snaps the blade in two. The light from the sparks being emitted by the broken blade reveal that the Shadow Robber is actually Tigra, strung out on drugs again.
He's a crackhead. He thinks he's a leprechaun. Someone told him to go up, and remember that? Someone told him to go up in that tree. You're a leprechaun. Go up in that tree. He's a crackhead.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All you gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else in the leprechaun say yeah?
Others find it hard to believe and have come up with their own theories and explanations for the image.
Could be a crackhead that got hold to the wrong stuff. And it told him to get up in a tree and play a leprechaun.
Do you remember that newscast? She's like, there's a crackhead up in the tree, said he was a leprechaun.
We all here for the leprechaun. Who's seeing the leprechaun? It's actually Tigra, who is shocked to see that he just attacked Lionel. Suddenly, the troll changes into Mumm-Ra, crackling loudly. Oh my god, David. That transformation scene when it's the Gregory Gregorman turns into Mumm-Ra, his little head, and he's got all these bandages flying, and he's doing his Mumm-Ra. Ah! I tricked you. I think Mumm-Ra gets the biggest kick out of pretending to be other people and be like, I got you with Gregory Gregorman today.
I was in drag again and you didn't know it. Ah!
Poor Mumm-Ra. I feel bad.
You thought I was a woman.
Mumm-Ra flies away from the woods after his work is done.
He's like,
oh my god.
He's like Maleficent. After 16 years, I can finally rest. I got you. Your sword is broken.
I got you.
Which I want to say for those She-Ra fans, it's like the stone and the sword breaking.
But that wasn't done because of any.
No, that was done because of
the Doom. The
Doom balloon.
Doom balloon. Hordak.
Yes. When he says this will curl your hair for you, and Zap gets hit lightning, basically. Sustained lightning.
So it doesn't take long for Lionel and Tigra to figure out that they were deceived by the evil mummy into attacking each other. Thankfully, they realize in that spot. I'm hoping it's when Mumm-Ra said, ha ha ha! Their concerns immediately focus on the broken Sword of Omens. Lionel tries to order the sword to display its powers, but to no avail.
But the sword, it's broken in two.
The sword's powers, Lionel. See if they are all right.
Sword of Omens, give me sight beyond sight. The crossbars do not curl.
The Eye of Thundera, it does not open.
Holy shit. Jaga materializes, David. This is the episode of drama. We always said that the Warrior Maidens are dramatic. Everyone in this episode is on top of their game. I've never heard Jaga talk like this ever before. He materializes and reveals to Lionel that by using the sword to attack another ThunderCat, he has, God help me, he has put the curse of the looks like Balthazar, causing the sword to break. I also called this the curse of
Balthazar?
The Bartman? I swear it sounds like Mumm-Ra says to Sly that one part. The curse of the Bartman! Balthazar! Balthazine! causing the sword to break. When Lionel asks if the sword can be repaired, Jaga replies that it can be done, but only in one place, the core of a nearby volcano in which a dwarf star had plummeted into its... Oh, it's the place that only has enough heat for the sword to be reforged in. And seeing as no one alive would be able to survive the heat from a starfire, Jaga deduces that the sword's powers are lost for good because of you, Lionel, you.
Yes, Lionel, gone forever because of you.
Jaga, but I don't understand.
You have brought down the curse of Balthaz by doing the one thing that robs the sacred blade of its powers. You used it to attack a fellow ThunderCat.
But I didn't know it was Tigra. It was all a trick by Mumm-Ra.
You acted hastily, Lionel. You struck out of anger before you knew what you were striking at.
You're right, Jaga. I should have been sure before I acted. But cannot a broken blade be reforged?
Yes, in only one way. The great volcano near here, a dwarf star fell into its heart long ago. Only in that terrible heat, only in starfire, can the sword be reforged. But no living being can withstand such heat. Thus the sword's power is forever lost.
No! Wait!
Because of you, I never stray too far from the sidewalk. He's like, but I didn't know it was Tigra. And he's like, I don't care.
No.
You just jumped into this blindly, so now you have to suffer.
But do you think that's a little harsh?
Yes.
I mean, you did start off earlier saying that Lionel is rushing into this possibly because he's bored. Yes, he wants to help people. But I'm sorry. He did not know that was Tigra. He didn't even know about the curse of the Balthazine because none of us did. Did you know that this sword had a curse and it was called the curse of the Mumm-Ra
did. Karen did.
Oh, well.
Tara.
That's amazing. That is amazing because let me tell you, it doesn't say it in this part, but we're gonna fill you in. We cut back to Mumm-Ra. He is living his best life. He literally says, "Dear Slive." He's happy. Dear Slive. He is thrilled. He's like, I've done it. They're gonna be like now upset. He's like, they're upset. They're gonna. I ruined their day.
That makes me happy. He's like,
Dear Slive,
they're fined by the HOA finally.
This is the end of all his worries.
They will be removing that cat's lair. It is blocking my view of the daisies on Death Mountain. Right behind
and we know that they are keeping their Wi-Fi up for Mumm-Ra. He needs his channels.
He's like, don't kill them all. Leave the one that does the electronics.
Can Panthro replace my cable box? So he knows about the curse of the Bart. I swear I wrote Bartman. Not because I thought that's what it was called.
How do you know about this curse? It's in my old Reader's It's in my old Reader's Digest copy.
Because using the curse of the bear. It's in an old Reader's Digest.
Along with how to lose 10 pounds in 2 weeks.
How do you think I keep my figures alive?
So he says, Dear Slide.
Not this time, dear Slide. For I have brought upon them the curse of Balthaz.
He knows about the curse. He's done it. That's it. Mumm-Ra is so happy.
So again, I'm gonna go back to that She-Ra episode. So She-Ra has to go into the cave of the first ones, which Cowell says to her is like walking into an oven. You won't survive it.
That's when Adora's really nasty. That whole episode, remember?
Well, because she's like, go F yourself. I have to.
She had to lean to the side.
They were not similar writers, right? It was just as I just happened to be. We know that forging and blowing glass and stuff requires heat, so that's not a far-fetched to say it has to be forged in heat, like the sword and whatever, but...
And they make it more special in the sense that these swords are so magical that it has to be the most extreme fire that you can think of. The first one's fire and Cheetara, or a star that fell down to Third Earth in a volcano. So not only is Third Earth deadly to begin with, now there's dwarf stars crashing onto this, and Lord have mercy. I would be thinking of a spaceship to make a spaceship to leave this place. But anyway,
they built a ship. That's true. Oh, but where are they going to go? There's no Thundera. But where was the original place they were going to go? What were they planning to do?
That's what it was. Where is that place? But I guess they don't have the capsules anymore to sleep. Tiger's like, I won't make another one. I won't make another.
They should just take a couple of gallon jugs from the fountain of youth.
No, Will is guarding that. That's not allowed to be used.
You can dangle your little toe, but not the full
foot. Make you weaker.
Not the whole foot. Just a toe. Look, but do not touch. Touch, but do not eat. Eat, but do not taste.
Ooh, that's a hard one to do. So utterly shocked at the thought of the Sword of Omens being lost forever, Lionel sprints towards the volcano, Tigra and Snarf in tow. This is when Tigra says, he's gone mad.
No! Wait! He's lost his senses! After him, Snarf!
Because Lionel kind of just screams and runs off. Like he's like running towards the volcano with the sword.
This is terrible. Tiger's like, just come back to my room. I have the 4 winds set up.
I got this. I got this all taken care of. I had the best stretch of my life, Lionel. So obsessed is Lionel, wanting to repair the sword, that he ignores both Tigra and Snarf's pleas to stop. Knowing that he might never return, he appoints Tigra to take his place as Lord of the ThunderCats and bids Snarf farewell before rushing off to the top of the volcano. David, did you think that was a smart move? I feel like Tigra probably would be the next in command. He knows everything.
I think Tiger should be the Lord of the ThunderCats only because it would be between him and, I don't know if it would be loud, but like Cheetara. But because, to me, Panthro is very strong, but he's also very, what's the word? No, he's very much about his electronics and stuff. That's his forte. That's what he wants to do.
Yes.
Where Tigra is the architect, and he's like much more about like...
And a historian, isn't he? The ThunderCats historian.
So he's more about the overall...
Cheetara would be a great...
Apparently needs some gold. She's got a gold issue.
If only her and the treetop maidens got together.
Oh my god, they could do what is it called? Paparazzi gold, where the $5, these necklaces are $5, these earrings are $5.
That's what I was thinking. They could do local thing, like they bring the burbles over for like Tupperware parties, but they start selling gold that the Cheetara's made.
These ThunderCat earrings.
The pendants, oh my god.
5 candy fruit. 5 candy fruit, everybody. Only 5 candy fruit.
That sounds like a bargain. All the warrior maidens are wearing ThunderCats.
3 arrows. 3 arrows, Willa. 3 arrows for this necklace with sleep gas.
How about bushy? Would you like some bushy? So... Oh my god, I don't even know where we are. Okay, Tigra and Snarf try their best to stop him, but are thwarted by the harsh terrain of the volcano. So they speed back to the lair to bring back the others.
Where's the communicator? Can't you just use a damn communicator?
We know that Panthro's given this to them.
It's in his bolo whip. It's in the thunder tank. Snarf may have it in a mysterious backpack that's hidden under his fur with his Jaga coins. Whatever.
Honestly, I think it's because everyone was so dramatic this episode. Snarf and Tiger just wanted to tell them in person. You don't know what's going on. Lionel is running up a volcano.
He's gone mad.
Right now.
He's gone mad.
The sword is broken. Within a short while, the ThunderCats arrive at the volcano in the thunder tank. They also have with them Robert Bill. Thank God, our friend Robert Bill just happened
where did they
to be there.
Oh, okay. Cheetara was showing off her
selling
goods.
Her gold. Cheetara was at the Purple Village doing her jewelry parties, and Robert Bill tells them about the Inflamer, a being who lives within the volcano, who is immune to its scorching heat. Hoping that the Inflamer will reforge the Sword of Omens, the ThunderCats and the Burbles enter the cave, which is located at the side of the volcano. Thank God! So their hopes are shattered when they find
the Inflamer is no longer flaming.
Incapacitated and shivering. He's in a bathrobe, basically, on a little stone chair, and Robert Bill says, Inflamer, is that you? Like, you're not as flaming as you usually are.
Fire become white, let fire become star bright, let the Inflamer come forth.
Nothing. You sure this is where the Inflamer lives, Rober Bill?
I am certain, Inflamer. Is that you?
What's left of me? Mutants attacked me. I drove them off, drained all my fire.
And he's like, yes, those
You're no
mutants.
longer looking like Elton John, Inflamer.
Inflamer. Inflamer, is that you? And he's kind of just like, yes, it's me. Those mutants got to me, Samantha. He doesn't even talk like I'm sorry. Honestly, I think if anyone can get away with these Inflamer jokes, it's us.
I'm a bit Inflamer myself. I always have been.
So the Inflamer is not what he's not what
the old gray mare, she ain't what she used to be, ain't what she used to be. So you basically find out, I don't know if it's out of context, you find out the mutants and Mumm-Ra were in cahoots to get rid of the Inflamer, knowing he was the only one that could reforge the Sword of Omens without getting scalded.
The Inflamer is evil?
I don't get that. See, the Inflamer looks like this whiny thing.
Yeah, he looks like, and why would Robert Bill know him as like a person that he's just like, oh, Inflamer, is that you? That means like they know of him, right? Like they're like, oh, it's been so long. You look so good. Like, how does
Mumm-Ra gave me the Johnson & Johnson vaccine and not Pfizer. I'm sorry, Inflamer. Told me he was from CVS.
Mumm-Ra disguised himself as a nurse.
He
was a treetop nurse. He was one of the warrior maiden nurses. Okay.
So he sees the gold on Cheetara's neck. It's like, oh, gold.
I've become very concerned, and that's why I buy gold every chance I get. I protect my retirement by buying gold.
And she's like, oh, this? Yeah, let's not forget.
This whole thing.
$10.99. $10.99 for you today. Again, everyone is so dramatic in this episode. Cheetara's holding her gold necklace because she just wants to know that it's there, and her head at the same time. And she's like, oh God, Lion, no, this can't be happening. Like,
he's gonna die. He's gonna die.
But she's gotta hold that gold though. She's like, at least I got this. There's a poem that
the Starlight, Starbright, First Star I See Tonight poem that the Burbles called the Inflamer with.
Which makes me think that the Burbles had a relationship with the Inflamer. The sickly Inflamer then notices Cheetara's gold necklace, revealing that gold can restore him to his strength.
She's like, oh no, this one's mine. You go down into the chasm and get your own gold. Bye, Lionel.
Doesn't Robert Bill say that? Of course, the Inflamer needs to be bathed in gold. He needs to be bathed in gold.
Do you remember Delilah?
Does anyone remember poor Delilah on the radio?
She used to do a nightly, right?
Yeah, you're listening to Delilah.
A nightly.
Was it Connecticut? But we got it in New York.
A nightly show.
Loveline?
Yeah, and she would. All her songs were about love, and I remember this thing that she said about...
Because she was so dramatic. You want to hear about dramatic?
Dramatic. I love her. I love you, Delilah. But anyway, go ahead. Tell them about it.
Well, she would do these things where callers would come in and with stories of
about their romance or triumph or love or my poor husband had colon cancer but he survived it and now we're remarried again for the second time and I'm pregnant, and she'd have these beautiful stories of triumph and romance and love, which was so nice because it was very uplifting.
Do you remember that? Dramatic. I mean, this is so off topic. Do you remember though, like someone would call and be like, I'm dying, and then she would play, like they let her pick the song and it would be like
dance from Liam back or like Live Like You Were Dying from God, what's the country sing? God.
Yeah, Live Like You Were Dying. She would pick the worst choices in song. I think she means well because she had all these adopted children. Anyway, she was telling this story one day about someone's wedding, and she's like, think back. Close your eyes. Were you draped in gold? Yes, so we were all draped in gold. The Inflamer needs to be draped in gold to get his flame back on.
And someone can drape me in some gold, too. I'll take some gold bullion, some nuggets.
Panthro and Cheetara return to the cat's lair because why, David? Why?
Because Cheetara has a secret stash of gold. She kept all of it. When they were they dumped, because they said we dumped it into the chasm. She goes, not all of it.
If we had enough gold, we could save Lionel and the sword.
But we do have enough. I saved some. It's in a storage room at Cat's Lair.
There may still be time to get it. Come on, Chatara.
Hoarding can range from mild cases of clutter to life-threatening chaos, and doctors are still debating whether it should be officially categorized as an obsessive-compulsive disorder.
She has a storage unit at Cat's Lair.
She's renting a storage unit at Castle Plunder. No, here's the key. It's number 723. It's over in the corner. It's climate control. It's only $73 a month. It's a 10 by 10 storage unit that I have the gold in.
You didn't know I had that out on the lawn by the bridge?
So Cheetara, unbeknownst to everybody, is so enthralled with the gold, she keeps it.
I love it. All of it.
This was her side mission, evidently. She gathered all this shit before they even dumped it, and she was like bringing it to the storage unit. I mean, I guess she could do it within a second.
They're like, what's that breeze? Oh, that was Chatara running back and forth taking gold.
Thank God, though. Thank God Cheetara was so enamored that she had a storage unit filled with gold. It's better than the storage unit that we would have came up with.
Yeah.
So they return to Cat's Lair and then shortly return with the gold that was preserved by Cheetara, dumping all of it into a hole in the ground. Panthro melts it by heating it with flames from the tank. The Inflamer slowly creeps towards the pit, vanishes into the molten gold, thinking that the Inflamer may have perished in the hot liquid. Don't they say that? They're like, he's disintegrated in that. This is when Robert Bill does his star bright star.
It sounds like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or something. Or
Let
Star
become white. Let flames become white. Let flames become stars.
So is it a spell?
It almost is like a spell, isn't it?
I'm not coming out of my dressing room unless you do my theme song.
The Inflamer really needs a big production. This is why he lives by himself.
Drama, tantrums and tiaras.
The ThunderCats decide to rescue Lionel themselves by following the signal emitted from the locator disc that Panthro had given Lionel earlier. The ThunderCat burrows its way straight through the core of the volcano and retrieves Lionel. During this time, the Inflamer, with his powers replenished, surfaces from the molten gold and flies into the volcano. Despite being completely worn out from his time inside the volcano, Lionel thoughts are still on fixing the Sword of Omens, which he left inside the core. As he wearily gets up to retrieve it, Inflamer appears in the volcano crater with the reforged Sword of Omens in hand. Instead of handing it to them, the Inflamer turns against the cats and begins bombarding them with giant fireballs. So again, with the dramatics in this episode, Lionel, he says, "Give it to me, mercenary!" Because he used his big word, because right before that they said he must have been, I guess he works for the highest bidder kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Like Lionel's like, oh, I heard the word mercenary. Give it to me, mercenary, the sword. He is demanding the sword.
Oh, baby, bring it all to me.
Upon Lionel's command, the sword blasts itself free from the Inflamer and flies into Lionel's hand. Furious at losing the sword, the Inflamer enters the volcano and begins to blow it up. The ThunderCats jump into the tank and speed off as the volcano erupts violently. Did he commit suicide?
No, because he's part of the heat. Well, the heat. No, I don't know. No, I don't think so. Well, who knows?
That was his dramatic exit.
No, he thought he was going to kill them with the volcanic. I guess he'll reemerge and be like, nope, didn't work.
They gone. I just want to say, I didn't mention earlier, David, but Jaga, when he has his little
tantrum
hissy fit with with Lionel. He disappears with star power. Is the only way to be able to get the Sword of Omens.
The silver crystal power, the power of love and friendship, Sailor Moon.
The meteor that Panthro and Tigra are extracting Thundrillium from is the one inquired in Lords of the Snow, making this episode a sort of sequel to it. Both episodes were penned by Bob Hanley, so maybe that has something to do with it. The Sword of Omens is broken for the first time in this episode. It won't be the last time. In this episode, we learn that Thundera had 12 Cs when Tigra exclaims, "By the 12 Cs of Thundera!" upon seeing Lionel in the Midnight Woods. And Wily Kid and Wily Cat are both absent from this episode.
Clearly punished staying in Cat's lair. Or maybe they just got a new Xbox and they don't and they only do is play Fortnite.
It sounds about right. But do you think that sometimes they tell them that they have to stay home to watch Cat's lair? Sometimes they all gotta go in the action. This seems like a time that I would have said come along, because we hear that Lionel's riding up a volcano and he's lost his mind. I think, who did they decide to grab? Robert Bell.
I told you she was selling that paparazzi.
It just so happened to find Cheetara learning. Oh, she was at the Burble Village trying to find a way that she could really forge this jewelry better.
She's like, you know how to do this. Can you just show me?
I love this episode, David. And at the end, when our little wrap up, we do get that Lionel says that he shouldn't have attacked before realizing who it was. And I'm sorry, the curse of Belzine. This is not Lionel. He did not do this on purpose. But, yeah. It teaches you that the sword cannot be used against a fellow ThunderCat.
My question is then why did the sword just get out of his hand and go to the ground and get stuck in the ground because it wouldn't harm? Like, it didn't want to harm that deer.
Instead of breaking? Well, I guess the sword realizes that he used it, so he don't deserve it, so it just cracked itself. But you're right, it shouldn't even work against another. Like, it wouldn't work against
it knows everything.
Innocent being, right? Yeah. It wouldn't kill, like, a unicorn or something.
Yeah.
And they do thank Cheetara because Lionel picks her up.
And she's like, put me down. And they're like, hail Cheetara, worth her weight in gold.
Lionel, put me down.
Hail Cheetara, worth her weight in gold.
What did this teach you? It's good to hoard gold.
Yes,
especially it during this time of year.
Yes, honestly, with the economy, it's good to have gold on hand.
It's never a wrong time to buy gold. I even love the way it smells.
The only gold I have left, I can paint some stuff gold. That's it. That's at this point. I'm like most Americans, don't have it.
No, don't have the gold, but Cheetara does. What a fantastic episode. This was all that glitters. It was jam-packed. It was jam-packed. David, we can find you at Universal
Glitters 2020,
also known as Cheetara's,
or hashtag hoarding gold.
Hashtag Inflamer's back, baby. He got his new outfit.
Back. All right. Okay.
So Universal Appeal 2020, all one word for David, and the Radical Retro Rewind podcast, all one word.
On all podcast platforms. We got
Apple,
Apple,
Spotify.
We got your Spotify, Google, YouTube. Friend face.
And
Facebook.
Your friend's face.
No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you so much for listening. We will be back, of course, with another episode.
Bye.